Russell and Austin Reeves just haven't worked out as a pairing this year. Very few games this season, both of them have shown up together, and most of those games the Lakers have won, right? When both of these guys are on, the Lakers are usually a very good team. But the Lakers have experimented with both of these guys in the starting lineup, off the bench. You've seen D'Lo kind of look like he's on his way out, and I fully expect the Lakers are going to trade D'Angelo Russell. His minutes are just getting fewer and fewer. He's showing his frustrations and not even talking to the media. He's a guy that now is in a bench role, and it's kind of this limited role, although he's been good in limited minutes for the Lakers. And there is a real argument to keep D'Angelo Russell over Austin Reeves, but the Lakers value Austin Reeves, and I completely get it, right? Long-term, Austin Reeves makes more sense. Austin Reeves is a guy that if he can kind of find his rhythm, because the problem is he's just been very inconsistent. Now, he hasn't been as bad as many try to make him out to be. He's been very good this year. He just hasn't been great, and he hasn't been the Reeves that we were accustomed to last year, right? He's had games, he's had stretches, but more so his three-point shot has really just fallen off this season. And he's starting to lose confidence. I mean, even look at the last game where he had a wide open three, and instead of taking it, he passed it up to Taurean Prince. Taurean Prince made it, so credit Austin Reeves, but still, that shows that he has zero confidence in his shot right now, because usually he's firing that thing, especially Reeves. But regardless, at some point, they're going to have to break up one of these two. And D'Lo making more money, him and his potential of leaving after next season. Reeves is just on the better contract. You got him locked up long term, right? He's a guy that I believe should be the sixth man, right? Because, look, he's giving you the same production regardless, right? Look at his numbers when he starts and look at his numbers off the bench. They're identical, right? And people are like, oh, since he's been in the starting unit, he had that stretch where he had 20 points. Go look at when he first moved to the bench. He had a 4 or 5 game stretch where he was giving you 20 off the bench, right? So again, I look at Reeves as he's more of the versatile guy, right? He's the guy that you can start in a pinch if need be, but he's a guy that you can bring off the bench as a viable piece. Now, I do have concerns in a couple areas, right? One, who's your secondary playmaker? Austin Reeves, yes, he's getting assists, but it's, again, fine in the open man, like that Taurean Prince pass that I talked about earlier. He can find the occasional cutter, but he doesn't really have the vision. D'Lo is the better playmaker, so the Lakers would have to address that secondary playmaker if they were to trade D'Lo, because Gabe Vincent, again, he's not a great playmaker. He can find the open man, he can find the occasional cutter, but he's not a great, breaking things down and get vision. And look, I'm not saying D'Lo is hyper elite at it. He is one of the better guys in those metrics, and one of the best plays in all of basketball is the D'Lo AD pick and roll. He's one of the better pick and roll guards. But I do think you can find just a serviceable secondary playmaker in a pinch if need be, right? Maybe Chris Paul ends up getting traded and bought out. That could be perfect off the bench for the Lakers in a win now position. But I ultimately believe that D'Lo's on his way out. The Lakers are going to keep Reeves, and there is now a report that says the same thing. So, the Los Angeles Lakers have continued to tell teams it doesn't want to part with Austin Reeves. Sources tell Fisher there does seem to be a pathway for a Murray to the Los Angeles deal if the Lakers would be willing to include Reeves. Although that would require the Hawks to send back more value for Los Angeles' liking. So I find this very interesting. So based on this report, the Lakers could actually get DeJounte Murray if they were to be willing to part with Austin Reeves. Now, I'm not big on the Murray trade. Couple reasons. One, he's not a great rim finisher. That's something that he's had trouble with his entire career, something dating back even to San Antonio. Career-wise, three-point shooting, he has not been good, right? He's a career 34% three-point shooter. He is shooting 38% this year, but we've seen guys and a trend with guys that shoot well, come into Lakers, and all of a sudden forget how to shoot entirely, right? So what's more likely? That he continues to shoot 38% from three, or he drops back to 34%, which would be bad, because at least D'Lo is shooting 38 and almost 39% from three this year. Austin Reeves is shooting like 34% this year. So that's a bit of a concern, right? The other thing is just the big problem that DeJounte Murray has is playing off the basketball. He's not good at playing off the basketball. He's been better this year than he was last year, but he's still not great at playing off ball. And when you have a guy like LeBron James, guess what? Murray's going to have to play off the ball a lot. Right? I mean, even Russ had to play off the ball. Like, no matter who you get, the Lakers have tried to find a point guard to play alongside LeBron for years now. Dennis Schroeder, you got Russell Westbrook, and then you got D'Lo. D'Lo's been the best at it because he's been very good off the basketball. But DeJounte Murray going from being off ball in Atlanta and that being the biggest struggle to now having to play off ball with the Lakers, yes, he may get more on-ball opportunities than he does in Atlanta, but still, it's definitely a concern. It's two guys. Also defensively. Now look, DeJounte Murray, handful of years ago was on the all-defensive team. Does he get back to that guy? Right? Or is he continue? Because since then, he has not been a very good defender. And this year, he's been worse than Austin Reeves. D'Lo's been 6 points better defensively than DeJounte Murray has been. Now, the Lakers have better defensive guys overall and have been a better overall defense this year than Atlanta has been. But still, it is a question. It is a concern, right? Now, in a perfect world, DeJounte Murray comes in. He's a 20-plus point a game guy. He gives you, 25 and 6 or something like that. He continues to shoot 38% from three. He continues to fit in as an off-ball guy with LeBron James when that time comes, right? And he's a guy that, can basically be that third co-star for the Lakers. And then post LeBron, kind of step into a bigger role, and then now you have that foundation with him and Anthony Davis going forward, right? That's the idea, and that he also gets back to being an elite defensive player. If that happens, then absolute home run. I would trade Reeves in a heartbeat if that's the DeJounte Murray we're getting. If we're getting that, 23-point-a-game guy who can dish out, 7 to 10 assists a game, rebound the basketball, and he can continue to shoot 38% and be a lockdown defensive guard, then to me, that's a no-brainer. But the question is, can he do all those things? Because he hasn't been very good in a lot of those regards. Where I look at a guy like a Zach LaVine, I think you could get Zach LaVine and not have to give up Austin Reeves, right? Because again, DeJounte Murray has value. There are teams that are actively, there's a report that came out today that there are 5 teams actively trying to trade for DeJounte Murray. So competition, right? That makes things difficult for the Lakers because the Lakers are very limited on assets. And then you look at a guy like Zach LaVine and it's the opposite. There's no real market. Chicago needs and wants to get off of LaVine. He's got a big, hefty contract. I understand you can get more alongside DeJounte Murray, right? Like you could go get DeJounte Murray and then go get other pieces, right? I do get all that. But again, Zach LaVine should come in and be a seamless fit because he's 45% three-point shooter on catch shoot threes. Let's say he drops 5%. He'd still be 40% on that. He's a lead scorer, a guy that can just go and make plays. I mean, go look at his last game yesterday with Chicago. Dude, the guy put up 25 points, grabbed 13 boards and 7 assists, and was 50% from three. Those are the games that he's probably going to have with the Lakers because he's, again, going to be playing alongside LeBron James and Anthony Davis. It's going to open up so much more. So, personally, I'm Team LaVine. I understand you're going to have to give up more players, but they're the players that you're comfortable getting rid of. A D'Lo, a Rui, even if you have to throw in a Gabe Vincent, whatever. Now, if you could get Murray and you could get a Clint Capella and maybe a Hunter or something, right? If you could get the right package from Atlanta, I'd be willing to trade pretty much anything, right? I would take the chance on Murray if I could get a Clint Capella and maybe a Bogdanovich or a Hunter, something like that, right? And I'd be willing to give up Reeves. Because you could do something like D'Lo, Rui, Gabe Vincent, and Austin Reeves, give up those 4, get DeJounte Murray, Clint Capella, and then a Hunter or a Bogdanovich. Now at that point, it's okay, well, you're getting your starting point guard for now and the future. You're getting your shooting guard and Hunter, which, if I'm not mistaken, the Lakers drafted him. But you're getting a guy like that who could be your, kind of a 3-and-D shooter alongside LeBron James. And then if you could get, a Clint Capella, then that'd be great. I mean, you could basically, if you wanted to, have basically the 3 Atlanta guys start alongside LeBron and AD, right? So you could go Murray, Hunter, LeBron, AD, and Clint Capella if you wanted to. Now, I do have concerns about LeBron playing the 3 as opposed to the 4. Darvin Ham has expressed that in the offseason. LeBron has even kind of touched on it in the offseason about how, at this stage of his career, to preserve him and not have to chase around a bunch of young guys. But you could kind of figure it out on the defensive side of things, right? You kind of make it work, right? You can still hide LeBron in a lot of ways, especially if Murray can kind of get back to being that defender, or you can keep those guys off the bench and go with a Prince or a Cam Reddish or whatever, right? I would still have concerns with just the 3-point shooting unless DeJounte Murray can shoot the ball. But again, if you can get more than just DeJounte Murray, I don't hate the idea. Otherwise, if it's just kind of like DeJounte Murray and that's it, I'd rather go get Zach LaVine because I think Zach LaVine would be the more simpler, easier fit and solves a big need. Where I just think there's more questions with DeJounte Murray. Where LaVine, there's not really any questions, right? It's the biggest question is, can he be good defensively? Which he's had very good defensive years. Him for his career has been better than league average defensively. And you just need him to be serviceable. But for a fact the guy is an elite scorer. Right? He didn't get $40 million because all he is a dunker. Right? He got the money because he's up there with the best of them when he's on and he's cooking and he can go and be just play that role of just go-to scorer, which he would with the Lakers. And he could play off ball, he could shoot off ball, all of that. So I just think he would be a more seamless fit, where DeJounte Murray, he's best with the ball in his hands, right? But regardless, I don't see the Lakers parting with Austin Reaves unless it's for a superstar, right? Maybe if it was Donovan Mitchell, sure. If they could realistically go get Donovan Mitchell, I think they may give up Austin Reaves or a bigger name. If Joel Embiid became available, just using him as an example. But if Joel Embiid became available, right? And I think then they would trade Austin Reaves. I think the Lakers are, personally, I think they're kind of overvaluing Reaves. Look, I love Reaves. I think Reaves is an excellent glue guy, but the Lakers are in win now mode. And if you can get the pieces that make more sense to go and win, then do it, right? I've talked about, if you could get Alex Caruso, Zach LaVine, and Andre Drummond, I'd be willing to give up Austin Reaves, right? Because Alex Caruso would be a better fit with LeBron, AD, and LaVine, where there's concerns that, if you get a guy like LaVine, and even a guy like DeJounte Murray, right? Because any third or any star guy or whatever, right, that the Lakers bring in is going to immediately play the Austin Reaves role. So the question then becomes is, how effective will Austin Reaves be, especially when he's not shooting the basketball well? If he was 40% from 3, I wouldn't really have much concerns because it's okay, well, he can just play as an off-ball shooter and still make plays. And, when LaVine's getting a break, you can kind of operate him and let him kind of go, right? But he's not shooting threes, and he's not shooting them by any stretch of the imagination well. And so it's okay, how do you make that work? Can you close with DeJounte Murray and Austin Reaves? With Austin, teams are literally targeting Austin Reaves on the defensive side. So can you close with Reaves? Right now, they do because who else do you close with? But if you get a guy like a DeJounte Murray or a Zach LaVine or whatever, now you don't necessarily need to close with Reaves. That's why I like the idea of if you can go get Zach LaVine and turn Reaves into an Alex Caruso or even a Dorian Finney-Smith, something like that. Yes, I get maybe long-term it's not the best solution, but the Lakers are in win-now mode, right? So if you can turn him into a legit 3-and-D guy, right, a high-level 3-and-D guy, to me that makes more sense, right? So if you could get Alex Caruso, you can close games and even start games with LaVine, Caruso, And then you could play a Jared Vanderbilt if you want to, because Caruso's shooting like 44% from three this season. And he's an elite defensive guy, point of attack guy. So imagine a starting five of LaVine, Caruso, Jared Vanderbilt, LeBron, and AD. To me, that's better than LaVine, Reeves, Jared Vanderbilt, and AD. LeBron and AD, right? Because I just think that Caruso gives you that bigger need. Or if you go get a Dorian Finney-Smith, right? Again, you look at, like, say, a LaVine, you could go Prince or Reddish in that regard, right? Dorian Finney-Smith, LeBron, and AD. Again, I just think that's better because Dorian Finney-Smith's like 43, 44% from three, one of the premier 3-and-D guys in the league. Like, if you can get something like that, then I think you should trade Austin Reeves if you get the other piece, right? Or if you're going to do an Atlanta trade, can you get DeJounte Murray, Clint Capella, and another piece that makes sense, right? Okay, well, this guy would fit. Like I said, like a Bogdanovich, something like that. Somebody that could just give you 18 to 20 on any given night, excellent three-point shooter, right? That, to me, I don't want to just give Austin Reeves away, right? I don't think the Lakers should just trade Reeves just to trade Reeves, right? But I think if the right moves are there that just make you a better overall basketball team, you should do that. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. Agree with me, disagree with me, somewhere in between. However you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot, lets me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.